Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird and we're back with game number 2 of our coverage of Operation Trebuchet. In this game we have a 2v2 and on the left hand side on the allies we have Robot Penguin, who is playing the 15th Scots. Looks like he will be concentrating on the top side of this map, and then on the bottom half of the map we have Roy, who is playing Juggernaut 3rd Guard Tank Corps. On the right hand side for the Axis, on the bottom half of the map we have Holger Anvil, and he is playing Balance 78th Sturm, and then on the northern side of the map we have Robert AM, and he is playing Balanced Group Hartneck. So we'll get the replay going to normal speed and an early Nash Horn out for Horgan Anvil, but nothing really for it to contest. So yeah, I'm quite surprised by that early buy. I think perhaps too early. Maybe he was worried about an early IS2 from Roy, but yeah, odd buy. I would have waited until you had something you needed to attack. And Robert AM coming in with an early Heinkel 1111, although it looks like it's lost its target, so that one is going to circle back around. Roy, I suspect, is going to play fairly defensive at the start, being that he's on Juggernaut income. Very much IGs and the M42 there. Not much of a heavy start. There are 3 mortars, and Roy really does like to use the mortars right from the start of the game. Pounding this central area and letting him move his infantry into this central town. So the Axis pick up an early flag, I believe it's this one here, with the 1311 tick, and the Heinkel is now moving in to drop its payload. Looks like it's going for the 2 Emchers. Will it succeed? Okay, does manage to fall back the first Emcher, but the payload not really big enough to do some major damage. A 17 pounder from Robot Penguin does take out Robert AM's VK there, and more artillery coming in from Roy, and he's already low on ammunition on some of those mortars, so really trying to take hold of this town. On the northern side, bit of skirmishing between the Panzergrens and the rifles. Now over time I'd expect the rifles to win out in the long run, mostly due to the number available and the relatively cheap price of them. But on the bottom side, I think Horgan Anvil is taking control of this bottom side. I think he is aware, I would suspect he's aware of Roy's decision to pick Juggernaut, and is trying to take as much advantage as possible in the early phases of the game. The Churchill 6ers starting to come into the town now, and they should do a fair bit of damage. Robert M has the Stu 42, but will not do so well against a 17 pounder, and it is going to come into, he's lucky to be avoiding that line of sight. It does, oh, he does have it on a move order rather than an attack move, so yeah, I would, and he is now receiving fire, so I think that's a bit of a mistake from Robot Penguin. If he'd have put that on an attack move, it would have stopped and started firing on the Stu 42, and he does lose that 17 pounder, although the Churchill 6 does come in now and get the driver knockout, and hopefully will clear up that Stu 42. Does get the loader kill as well. Will the Stu 42 back off? No, it does not, and does get the kill. Robot Penguin with the kill. and Robert AM pushing up a pack 184, but it is going to struggle. The Emcher from Roy Raw coming around the sort of around the rear of this infantry, and it is going to cut off the resupply. He does have to be careful about this pack 184 from Robert AM and the Sturmschützen coming through the woods. They should easily deal with the Guardia, but at the moment it looks like the Allies are taking a commanding lead in this central town. However, in the bottom side they are losing out. Roy Raw is losing out, committing his forces to a large area of the map while playing balanced income, and the Nashorn, two Nashorns now on the side of Horgan Anvil, and this area is very good for Nashorns. All of these light forests gives them plenty of opportunity to play around the lines of sight, and I expect those Nashorns will perform well in this terrain. So the rifles, with the support of the Emcher, do pin down the Schützen, but the supporting Schützen in the northern forest will also start taking its toll on this Guardia. And Roy Raw's got to be careful. I mean, they do need to get hold of these flags. They have managed to pick up this flag on the crossroads in the centre, and that does mean that they are only losing at 13-11. The Sturmschützen move forward and do get pinned down before they get a chance to get the Panzerfaust off, and it looks like Roy Raw's gone for the surrender on that vehicle, on the Sturmschützen, but probably thinks better of it as the Sturmschützen do fall back. And they have now lost this town. It looks like the infantry had there probably got taken out by the artillery, and that's going to allow Horgan Anvil to move forward, although the two Shermans are moving down to start covering, but the Panzervenictons from Horgan Anvil will present some danger to these two Shermans, and if these two Shermans get taken out, then that's some serious fire support that is being knocked out of play. The Stug 3G is going to come around the corner, as well as the Panzervenictons. Both come into line of sight. There's the Panzervenictons. They get the Panzerschreck kill, and the Stug 3G gets the gun jam onto the other Emcher, and that's the entire fire support. Down goes the Emcher, and look at the territory flip the opposite way. The Axis now 14-10 up, and the Allies need to respond to keeping this game with playing a juggernaut deck. The Robert M's pushing forwards in the north as well with that Stug 3G, and there's another flag in trouble. This Bofors here won't present. It's difficult to know whether that will present a danger to the Stug 3G. 3 Yaks come in from Roy Raw, and only one hits the target, taking out the Panzervenictons. They pay for that kill against the Emcher. So supporting infantry moving up, looking to protect this flag from further attack. And the Axis now have quite a commanding control of this town, having flipped it back. And if this Robot Penguin loses these 3 rifles here, there'll be another flag fall to the Axis. And it looks like the Allies are struggling here. I'm not sure the choice to go Juggernaut in a 2v2 game was potentially the best idea. I think he's going to need to bring out those IS-2s as soon as he can get them. The Dozer moving forward, trying to spot targets, I presume for the 120 mils to fire, but no real pressure onto these 2 flags, which is, I mean, this Nashorn's in a fantastic position just covering that flag against any armour that, you know, comes forward. He's got the Hog and Anvil's got the 2 Pak 40s as well. I mean, he's got this flag very well covered. The Axis have now picked up this northern flag, and they are looking in control of this game. 16-8. They will pick up the victory in 12 minutes time. And Robot Penguin's pulling in some Vickers HMGs, but he's got to be careful how far he pushes these forwards, because he could well lose them before they unload. The fighter from Robert AM covering his movements forward, and he has definitely opened up a whole lot of territory in this northern area. The Churchill 6 does get the kill onto the advancing SDKFZ half track, but he doesn't have the troops in here to spot targets for this Churchill 6. Looks like the artillery are trading blows at the moment. Counter battery does take out the supply truck, and that will deal quite a big blow to Hog Anvil. But the Allies do need to push forward if they're going to make ground and stay in this game. We've got the 2 Yak 7Bs circling for targets, and perhaps baiting in this ME-109, although it does go through the flat cover of the 37mm. Will it survive? Does go down to the Yak 7Bs, and the Heinkel 111 will be in trouble now from these Yak 7Bs. Will they be able to pick up that kill as well? Pilot panic, and I think that Heinkel 111 is in trouble. Does get the bombs off and fall back the Emcher, but wow, luckily the Yak 7B loses out to the Flak 43 of Hog Anvil, and the Heinkel 111 does just go down before it makes it out. So Roy Raw has moved his Guardia forward and picked up the bottom flag, but it is now 15-9 to the Axis, and the Allies are in trouble. The Churchill 6 on the edge of this forest is in a difficult spot with these Sturmschützen moving forwards, and they should, if they can get the Panzerfaust off, they should be able to take out this Churchill 6. Will they get there before being spotted? The rifles of Robert Penguin does open fire briefly, and I think he's realised, and he's moving away the Churchill 6. Yeah, he did realise he was in trouble there, so good spot from Robert Penguin. And the Reiter Führer on the attack, and surprised that Robert AM is not using his Hungarian infantry, rather instead deciding to commit the Reiter Führer to take out those rifles. The Churchill 6 has backed away, but is taking fire, I think from the Stug 3G, and does eventually get taken down, although 2 more come in to replace it. A lot of infantry now coming into this central town, and the Allies looking to try and take back a foothold in this game. So the 2 Emchers in the southern side are supporting this attack, and this is what Shermans or Emchers do best, supporting infantry on the attack. The Stug 3D is in a great position there to fire all the way down this line of sight, and does take out one of the Emchers, and it looks like the Schützen are being made to retreat as Roy Raw commits forward with his Aftermachikis. If he gets those Aftermachikis into decent positions, he can beat these Schützen, but does come under fire. The Emcher is lost to the Pak 40, and these Aftermachikis are pushing forward trying to take out these Schutzen. I'm not sure whether they're quick enough to catch up to them, and I think Roy has decided to leave that one and hop into the building. So they do pick up another flag. The Allies are still 14-10 down, and they will lose the game in 15 minutes. The starting to clear up more of the southern area, and we're into phase B now, so Roy picks up more points, and it'll be interesting to see whether he commits an IS-2 or whether he continues to rely on the Emchers in phase B. This kind of territory is quite good for these Emchers, very much able to support infantry and play around the sort of close range engagements. So yeah, the Allies, they should get decent success in this southern area. They need to try and clear up this northern flag, because Robert AM has been able to push through with a lot of infantry, and the Tiger Fuhrer is now coming in to back up this Stug 3G. The 17 pounders almost in position to take out that Stug 3G, but just somehow the Stug 3G is just out of line of sight of those 17 pounders. So these rifles moving through from Robot Penguin should discover the Aufklärer and take that out. They do need to get a hold of this forest, and there isn't much left in this sort of town. There is now reinforcing infantry being brought in by Robert AM, and that was the right call. They do need to reinforce this town. The artillery of Roy coming back in and looking at taking out the AA, and if both of those AA units go down, this there goes one. If the other, there goes the other. So both of those AA units go down, and that could open the avenue to some of those airstrikes that Roy was using earlier. So it looks like he's targeting the Nashorn here, although I'm not sure he necessarily knows the exact positioning of that Nashorn. Perhaps was responsible. Oh no, that is an Axis vehicle. The Stugs moving through those light forest areas, looking to push forward, and this Nashorn in an excellent ambushing position, taking pot shots at this infantry before it can unload. They do pin down the Schutzen, and if they can move forward, they can secure this southern central area and kind of hold on to the match for now. So the Allies still in with a shot, 10 minutes left until they are defeated. Their artillery is definitely doing a lot of work in this game. Can they take out the Pak 40? Was responsible for the Sherman kills on this southern town. The Aftermachiki are discovered. They do kill one of the advancing Axis infantry, and Holger Anvil's got to be careful moving these Stug 3Gs towards this Aftermachiki. It may well get the anti-tank grenade off. Is it in range? It looks like it is just in range. Gets the engine damage, surrenders, and the airstrike comes in from the Yak 7Bs onto the other Stug 3J. Quite lucky not to lose that one as well, and the Aftermachiki doing a fantastic job, although now out of range from the Bavarians, and the Bavarians will sit there all day long and take pot shots at those Aftermachiki. So Roy needs to do something there, although they are now sort of regain their stealth, and the Bavarians do stop firing now. Looks like those Jaeger Pioneers are making their way through the forest, and Jaeger Pioneers, they are a They are decent in the forest with those grenades, with those frag HE shells. And the rifles from Robot Penguin on the northern side, yeah, they were on low strength, so they were due to be taken out, and the Jaeger Pioneer grenades will help take out these rifles as well. So I imagine that this forest is going to be lost to the Axis. The rifle leader is likely to go down as well, and the Allies still 13-11 down. Robot Penguin is now bringing in the 25 pounders. He has 4 of them all in one spot, taking shots at this 184, and hopefully will take that down. The looks like it's been firing on the Churchill 4s. They certainly have the armour penetration to take on this Tiger A. I wonder whether that is what happened. Possible. Could have been the 17 pounders as well to fire on that Tiger E and get the gun jam. Although Robert AM has brought a supply truck in and is fixing up that Tiger E. Excellent job there, getting that Tiger E back into movement, and that should contest again against these Churchill 4s. Artillery still raining down on that pack gun and may well take it out. The Tiger E is now moving forwards. Does come into line of sight. Takes out one of the Churchill's first shot. And I am all transmission damage. Track's broken. Shooter knockout. Surely that Tiger's going down now. Another bounce. Only on the AP shells now for the Churchill 4, and only 115mm of penetration for those AP shells. So that's why he's struggling to take out this Tiger E. And we'll continue to get the criticals. So on the southern side, Roy Raw has pushed back and managed to capture this flag on the edge here, but they have lost this forest, and that's a difficult loss there. Roy Raw needs to commit some infantry to pull back that forest. I'd like to see this infantry come down across here and move into this forest, because they are currently suffering a 15-9 now, losing that flag again, and they will lose the game in 2 minutes time if they don't pick up some flags to help stem the tide. We are now into phase C, so expect to see the IS-2s come onto the field from Roy Raw, but I think at the moment perhaps he's struggling on income. They have to pick up some more flags now while they can, and the 3 squads of Light Grenadiers is going to prove tough for the infantry to come up against. They're going to really struggle to take back this flag. The 2 Emchers continually moving through and trying to get shots, you know, trying to support the attacks onto this town, but really struggling to beat these Stugs today. And this Bavarians could again prove disastrous for this Emcher. If they move south and use the anti-tank grenade, they may well take out this Emcher. There's 3 IL-2s coming in for the strike. Yeah, looks like I think that was perhaps, you know, an unreconned strike there on that forest, and the fighters of Robert AM going after these IL-2s, managing to get all the way through to the rear lines. So not much anti-air on the Ally side, and I think that's because they've been down on flags from the start. They've only got 3 minutes left to pull another flag back. They need one more flag back, and it's not going to be in the north. I think it's this flag in the town that they need to prioritise. If they can get this flag back in the town, they can at least bring it back to the 12-12, although they have now lost another one. So the Allies really need to push, and in comes the IS-2s from Roy Raw, but I think it's too late now. The 2 minutes left. They really need to push through, but the Huzaroks are going to prove difficult enemies to come up against. After Machiki is moving through, only one man left, and as soon as they get discovered, they are gonna lose that battle. There we go. So 2 flags down. It's looking like it's a tough ask for the Allies to come back here. Only 2 minutes left. And another flag now lost, and this could be it. Only 1 minute left on the clock now. I think the Allies are done for in this game. The Bavierungs moving forward through the light forest. The Emchers are all after them, trying to get there, and the Dozer. How the Dozer did not spot them earlier, well, who knows. But yeah, those Bavierungs are in for a difficult time now. We're facing off against 4 Emchers, and however the 4 Stug 3Gs are going to come down from the north and try and take out these Emchers. So this is an interesting little battle that may take place. Let's see who wins out on this one. Looks like the Emchers have now started engaging. The fuel explosion on one of the Stug 3Gs, although Hagen Anvil brings down the off map, but I'd have wanted that to be an emergency one to get it on target quicker. Oh, the gun jam coming in on the other Stug 3G, as well as the bombs, but unfortunately too late. The Axis lose that game. Sorry, the Allies lose that game. 26 minutes 41 seconds. Let's have a look at the team stats. So Roror goes positive. I think Robot Penguin suffered a bit with his infantry. The rifles, they're decent infantry, but coming up against 78 Sturm and Group Hartnick infantry, they are really good divisions. So the infantry on Robot Penguin, I think, struggled there, as well as the armour. But yeah, the Axis took a commanding start, and they really pressured that southern side hard, and they took that central town. And the Allies, they weren't able to respond, so the Axis pick up the victory. Hopefully you enjoyed this game. This was game number 2 of the Operation Trebuchet event. So that's more points for the Axis, and I will come back to you next time with another cast. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.